Good evening, everybody, and welcome to That's Good Pasta, our weekly podcast about creepy pasta things, maybe spooky spaghetti, I think is how Jared says it. And speaking of Jared, here's my co host.
Me, Jared.
There you go. We got this. We got this. We'll get it one
We're
day.
gonna
Don't worry.
talk about rigatoni. We're gonna talk about tortellini. We're gonna talk about it all.
Linguini. Some good shit right there. Um,
Fettuccine.
s- so today we have a little creepy pasta that goes by the name of There's Something in the Woods. Creepy Park Ranger Story. It's not the most inventive title, but it's what it is. And it comes from a Reddit post called Park Ranger Warning You to Stay Safe and Leave Your Flashlights at Home. I don't think you should do that, but uh, according to this creepypasta, you might want to.
They're sensitive towards the light,
They're
Thomas.
sensitive. They don't like the light, Jared. Um, so this is a kind of a classic style creepypasta of after the fact journal entries on Reddit type thing. Um, and the reading that we got from mine anyway that I found is from a channel called B period Busta. I don't know how he got that name. I'm sure there is a story to it, but that's how it is.
He loves
Um,
TLC.
I, you know, I, a little tender love and care, Jared. So
So, what
a
is
little
the
bit of
origin of your love of
uh,
this?
so this one was one I found when I was traveling for work in my AV type of thing. I was just finding something or trying to find something creepy to listen to on the road, and I pre-downloaded a few videos onto my phone, and this was one of them that I had, and I distinctly remember driving through. I think it was Arkansas, um, and getting on a creepy road, and I was surrounded by kind of like woods and stuff like that, and just it was like kind of the perfect setting for this one, and that's kind of where it kind of stuck with me. Even though I will say that the reading is not the greatest in this one. Um,
I
I
kind of
don't think
like the
Jared would.
I kind of like the reading, except his timing is terrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say like besides the timing, but I was gonna say like when I first listened to this, I was like, oh crap, I forgot he was Australian. Um, because Jared doesn't like Australian accents for some reason, and he's like, I'm a park ranger, and I've been a park ranger for as long as I can remember.
There's no parks in Australia.
I'm sorry, I've been a national park ranger for close to 2 decades. Protocols have changed a lot in that time.
Your accent started
It's,
off Boston,
I know
and
I
then
can't do
it's the
Australian.
hardest accent.
I can't do it. I cannot do it. And uh, Johnny's girlfriend Ari goes, "Oh no, the best I've ever seen." I can't do it. I've tried. I cannot do.
All I
Oh
can do
no,
is good eye mate, and that's about
and
it.
I
And
might,
that's
and
not even
then
good.
we get
But
mocked
it's
for it.
it's it's weird because British isn't too bad. I can do
No,
it. No,
British
I
isn't
can do
all
a
hard.
decent British accent.
Oi, oi there.
And
Yeah, it's not that hard. But
but
Australian
Australian is
accent,
a whole different thing.
it's hard. Anyway, getting off of our accent lacking thereof. Um, so this one is about a park ranger that kind of is in charge of a campsite area in a national park. Doesn't tell which because it's a creepypasta. You're never really given a specific location in most creepypastas.
Mhm.
Not saying all the time, but most of the time. And they've been noticing some kind of like weird occurrences at night. Just like some of the wildlife has been kind of missing. Um, and at one time they see some campers go out for obviously like a kegger of some kind, and they're like, "Wow, they're still out there." It's like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, they're still going. And whole thing proceeds, and like, wow, they're still there. Wonder what's going on. So they send out one of the rangers to go check it out, and he comes back all freaked out. He's like, "There's blood everywhere. There's blood. There's just this stuff. I don't know what's going on." So the one of the managers calls like a their HQ, I think is what they call it, and like, oh yeah, we'll send out somebody to go take a look, and they go out there like, oh yeah, it's something happened, not sure what, but they're gone. Uh, we need to move the campsites a little closer to the ranger station. They're like, okay, that's kind of odd. And okay, I will preface this, but I can't remember how many managers they go through in the story. They go through like four, um, I think, right?
I
Several.
want to say it was 3, but I think you're right. I think it's 4.
There's several managers. So what? Some of the managers either keep quitting or they get like so freaked out by what they're seeing out there that they quit and they start carrying rifles and one of the managers apparently like dies and is never seen again because at one point he like gears up, he like gets one AR, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take another AR. I'm just like, why would you do that? Because that's heavier. Just take more ammo. Ammo's lighter than a rifle, dude. But he goes out there with two guns, and we never see him again.
Because he wants to do that thing where you get 2
He's like,
and
ah,
you're
yeah,
not even aiming
uh,
at anything, but
yeah, just like that whole like John Woo, like take me. Um,
is that a
so
Keiko Man shirt?
yeah, it is.
That's a cool shirt.
It is a cool shirt.
That's the first
Thank you.
shirt you've had. I'm like, dang, I want that. I I'm gonna take it.
It's mine.
I'm sure
Fine.
I can buy it.
Um,
It's the only one in
so
existence. Dang
yeah, it
it!
is. It is now. It is now. It's all the knockoff like great value soy sauce brand. Um, so progressing like further into the story, things keep happening, and then like pretty much with each manager, uh, the campsites that they're allowed to have come closer and closer and closer. And then at one point they have to like stay overnight because they have to have an overnight ranger at the station every day. And the manager draws the short straw is how they do it. I'm like, I'm not sure that's how scheduling works, but okay. Um, and uh, this our main ranger gets a call like at 1 in the morning or something, and let's see if I can find it here. Oh, he gets a call at 3 a.m. Says, "Get over here now and bring guns." He's like, "What do you mean? You have a damn arsenal over there?" It's like, "Now, I swear to God, I effed up." Oh man, I think they're attracted to the light. Call that number, and all they say. I called that number, and they said they would send backup in the morning. And apparently, here's a staccato of gunshots, and then screaming, and the line goes dead.
Can we talk about that real fast?
Go
I
for it.
am a huge, I guess, I critique dialogue a lot. That's like one thing that really makes and breaks things for me and really
Yeah.
stands out. Like Michael, you and Michael, Joseph, you're like, oh, that was a weird shot. I don't notice shots. I could not notice a shot. When aspect ratios change, I'm like, it did? But dialogue, if something is off one word, I'm like, oh god, it's just redo it. And you can tell this is a creepy pasta because he's like a skeleton of campsites or tents were about. And I'm like, dude, just say remnants of tents or like leftover tent parts.
Abandoned campsite. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have
Or
to you don't have to sweeten the pot with me. You can
you don't have to be all like a 14-year-old and writing a soliloquy about how your parents hate you, and so I have to, express that through a creepy pasta at on Reddit.
yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I honestly like the dialogue in this actually kind of makes me laugh,
Mm.
but and and it's obviously somebody who looked up what guns are, but has no clue how
I
they
had so
work.
many questions for you cuz the big one was like he's like it's not unusual for officials to have ARs or shotguns. I feel like it is unusual. Is it?
Not really, not anymore, because
Mm.
the reason he gave is actually pretty accurate about having pot growers out there because they're the ones that have like guns because they're run by
Yeah. Like
the
militias and stuff like that.
well militias and the cartels and stuff like that. But what he was talking about the shotgun, he's like these have the rifle barrels; they can take the slugs. I'm like, you don't need a rifle barrel to have a slug in a shotgun. If
Yeah.
it's the same diameter of the barrel, it'll come out.
No, like
It's not very accurate, but it'll come out. You don't need them.
yeah.
And then when he said like, "Oh yeah, we have those 15 15 round magazines, and so we changed to the 30 round magazines. I'm just like, nobody, no law enforcement ever has a 15 round magazine. They're just
As
they're
much as you
pointless.
can, might as well
Well,
have it.
it's just easier. Like, and and that's the thing about having like he grabbed one AR and then he grabbed another. I'm just like, an AR weighs about 10 to 15 pounds. Not 10 to 15. It weighs about 8 pounds. Sorry, and you can carry way more ammo than just carrying another AR. It's how you do it. But and he was talking about what do you call it? Hollow points and stuff like that. It's like you don't use hollow points in the woods. They scatter on impact. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. Like if you want to
In the
kill
woods, you're
something.
gonna use what you're gonna use, like whatever gets the job
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Well, and it all comes down to personal protection ammo. And honestly, you wouldn't have hollow points in 223. That would just be kind of weird. It's meant to be a penetrating bullet, not a scatter bullet. Because when a hollow point, I'm getting really into guns now. A hollow point is made to break up on impact. A hollow point, sorry, a FMJ, a full metal jacket, is meant to penetrate. So you'd want the penetration power on a AR because that's what they're designed to do. So it's kind of weird that they said that, but it's obviously somebody who did do some research, but had no idea how to include it in the story and make it creepy.
Mm.
Um, I will say though, the this entity or whatever that's inside the woods is the thing that kind of makes me like curious and like kind of caught my attention.
Mm.
Because I do like the idea of something out in the woods and taking people and like it's infectious because they keep burning the campsites where people keep getting abducted or something goes down. Like I think they discovered like deer or something in this one too.
Mm.
And uh they keep burning these sites that have these incidents on, and I kind of like that idea. It's kind of like horror from the vault, and I think that's why I like this a bit more, is because it reminded me of that. Not nearly as well written though, I'll say that much. So also this reading was a little off because he kept mispronouncing some things.
Mm.
um and the one that really got me was when the main park ranger gets off the phone for the very last time
Mm.
about his manager wanting backup because of the gunshots, he calls us like HQ number. It says, "Interesting. Thank you for your report. The park is now closed. You will be reassigned. Goodbye." In the reading by B Busta, it's you will be resigned. Goodbye. I'm like, what? Those are two different outcomes. So
My issue was like he was pretty bad about this. Like he doesn't give enough pause for different dialogue.
I
One
wonder if he
character
did
will
this in
bleed in.
one. I wonder
Maybe.
if he did this in one go because I had the same thought.
Yeah, one character bleeds into the next. I didn't know who was talking sometimes,
Yeah,
but
and so
I
I
like his tone. Like he sounded like a park ranger.
yeah. He has a really good voice.
Yeah,
Like I really like the creepy voice, but he needs. And this is like from 2016, so this is an
yeah.
older video.
And internet, I'm
But
sorry. I know you probably like, oh, not all park rangers sound the same, but it's always, you know what his park ranger sounds like. It's an official guy.
well, I actually knew a park ranger, and he's a what do you call it? He's a country boy. He's like I'm not gonna give his name, but yeah. Uh, but yeah, I mean, this one was kind of fun for me. It's not one of like my top ones,
Mm,
but this is definitely not. This isn't bottom of the barrel either. This is very listenable, and
mm,
honestly, especially on a drive, this is a driving one for me. And I say that because this is where I got it from. But
yeah,
this is a classic. I'm on the road by myself with my cup of coffee,
yeah.
possibly at night, driving. This is a good one to listen to.
Um,
You're welcome.
this one I probably would have to listen to during a drive or something monotonous because, like at work, I listened to this story like 10 times today because if anything else is happening, the thing will grab my attention and not the story.
Right. No,
Um,
I had the same problem because I was trying to listen to it at work. And I'm like, I can't. I got to like
yeah,
actually listen to this.
especially when he's talking about gun stuff, it loses me during that. Not because I'm not
Maybe.
interested. It's just like he's listing off specifications, and I just like My brain's like, oh, okay, you don't need to pay attention.
Thomas did. Thomas paid attention.
But yeah, other than timing, that was the only issue I had. And then some of the reading, like you mentioned, like the resign.
Mm-hmm.
But
Uh,
if he can improve timing, I like his tone and I like the way he read this story.
his voice.
Yeah. Although he might be good for these park ranger ones or these.
There's several. Like it's a whole genre about like people in watchtower type ones. There's a
Yeah.
few that I know of.
He'd probably be good with those. I doubt he'd be good with like symmetry.
No, I couldn't do that. Or the Russian sleep experiment. That'd be
Yeah.
kind of odd. Um, he would be a good voice for horror from the vault though. One of the
Yeah.
voices. I think he could do
He
pretty
would do
good for that
great
one.
on that. Like the cop,
Yeah,
he would do great for the
yeah, he'd
cop.
be good on that one. Um, so yeah, this one I like this one just because I have like kind of a fun memory for it, and that's why I still listen to it every now and then. Um, but yeah, that's all my thoughts on this one. What about you?
That's about all I had. Nothing more.
Cool. Did you have a one that you wanted to do, or do you want me to pick one?
You can pick one.
Okay, so stop me.
I've been having to re-listen to a bunch because I just have forgotten. There was a time in my life where this was all my life, but then that's been years.
Well, so I was wondering if you wanted to do this one or not, and I'll ask. You want to do the Russian sleep experiment?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. Well, there you go, audience. You will be listening to our thoughts on the Russian sleep experiment,
Don't
and
listen to me, Cannon. Don't listen to your
yeah,
Wendigos. Just come straight to us.
no, this right here, us, right here. Don't even listen to the weird stuff podcast on that we have for this one. Honestly, that I wish we could have gotten more, but we kind of had to cut ourselves off. So, um, but yeah, we'll be listening to the Russian sleep experiment next time. I'm probably gonna do the Mr. Creepypasta version, but there's like a billion versions out there, so don't limit yourself. Have
Yeah.
fun with it. So anyway,
Maybe in the future, since we get so much views, we'll read one.
ooh, we could probably do Russian sleep experiment. Honestly,
Is there more than one
so
character? There's
there's like
like the main guy and then like some of the
and some of the
patients.
voices,
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe we could read this one and have better tone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, I think that's about it for today. Everybody stay creepy out there and ooh, bye.
Bye.